Hey guys, it's Zach and it is Wednesday the 13th of May. Wednesday the 13th of May. Like I said, my name's Zach and this is my update for my first appointment at the gender clinic. So yeah, if you've watched the last couple of videos before this one, then you'll know how nervous I was. And especially last night, I kind of forgot that it was in the morning, and then I remembered. And I got really nervous, and my girlfriend had to give me a little pep talk on why going to the appointment was so important. Obviously I know it's important to go, but I kind of freaked out and was like, oh, I can't go. So it was okay. It was an okay appointment. It wasn't too daunting. The place was really nice. That's the best word I can think to describe it. It wasn't too hospitalised, and it wasn't too much like a hospital. I mean, there were like signs that it was a hospital and like ward signs and things like that. But besides that, the office was quite nice, which he had. I did agree to not share like names of things with them on my YouTube because he asked if I am on social media and I said yes. He said, well, just we don't really like you sharing names, so I won't do that. But yeah, the experience overall was pretty okay and much better than I had anticipated, because I was, you know, expecting the worst and preparing myself for really personal questions. And, you know, while I did do that, I do think it was probably good for my own sake that I did prepare for the worst questions, because some of the questions were really personal. So, you know, just preparing it for in that way was useful. So I'll just talk a bit about the questions and things like that. I don't want to go into too much detail about my answers and the questions, but I think if you are watching this because you are going to your first gender appointment soon, then I can give you a bit of the details on the process here in the UK, or at least England anyway. And each gender clinic across the country runs slightly differently. So basically I went in and he wanted to know about my family. And he drew like a little family tree. I'm not too sure why, and he just wanted to know a bit about my birth and things like that. So we talked about that for a bit, and then we moved on to sort of how family are taking it. I told him outright that they don't properly know. So we basically came up, well, in the end it was basically a case of I need to come out to them before getting treatment, hormone replacement treatment and stuff like that. Simply because he didn't want things to kick up in anybody's faces, especially if we're all living under the same roof, and he didn't want the social side to get in the way with my own transition physically. Which I think is quite sensible, to be honest, because, you know, it's just sensible basically. He was like, the changes are going to be quite noticeable, especially in my case, because the first two things that he noticed about me were the way I was dressed. I've kind of got undressed right now, but I was in a shirt, waistcoat and trousers. And he first of all noticed that I was dressed quite masculinely, so he basically said, well, I don't have to guess which way you're transitioning or feel more identified to. So I was like, yeah, sure. And then he, well, basically said about my beard and facial hair, because I forgot to shave this morning. Last night I was reminding myself that I need to shave because I didn't want it to impact the appointment, and that's basically what it did. So I'm just going to come in close for a second, sorry about this, but because I'm not shaved in a couple of days, probably since over the weekend. I don't know if he asked if I was already on hormones, either off the internet illegally or like steroids or anything like that, and I'm not. Truthfully, honestly, I'm not, but he was kind of convinced for a bit that I was. I didn't tell him that it's probably because of sort of my Asian background. But yeah, so we spoke about that, and he has some concerns about that. So because he's concerned about that, that's concerned me about that. And he basically said it could cause problems for me going on T, testosterone, which is kind of a kick to the head, to be honest, because that is largely one of the reasons I went today, because I wanted to get a step closer to getting T. But that's that was probably the worst, or one of the worst moments of the appointment. Him telling me that there's a chance that I might not be able to go on T. And the reason for that is because he thinks, well, I've thought this before in the past, but he reckons that there's either my T level is already really high, or that the female hormones that I do have in me are converting more into testosterone, basically. That's one theory he has. And then the other theory is that it could be because of underlying other health or genetic issues, or differences. So basically I have to get a blood test done at some point in the next few months. So I guess for that's I'll just have to wait and see with that. I mean, it is kind of annoying because it's left me in a limbo stage, like it's not confirmed that I can start T, but at least he did talk to me about like how that would work. And because my T levels are already quite high, he said that we're going to have to lower the dose, which would be given to many other trans guys if they were just starting out, and to slow the process right down, and to also give me hormone blockers for all of my hormones, to basically level me out totally, to have for maybe a month just have no hormone, well yeah hormones, but like completely zero out or level down both testosterone, estrogen and progesterone, and I don't know, some of those. Sorry this video is taking quite a while. It was just quite a long appointment. I was there for about 2 hours. He did ask my girlfriend about her sexuality and how long we'd been together and stuff like that, questions targeted towards her, and did say, you know, that there is a possibility that once I start T, if I do start T, then she might not want to be with me anymore. But I think we're pretty safe with that. I think we are. And other stuff. Oh yeah, because my acne's been like quite bad in the last few years, especially the last few months, with stress, but it's not always just stress. Like the last few months it has been because of stress, but basically he did say that I have like the male characteristics, so quite oily and skin and like facial hair and stuff. So basically I'm saying so basically a lot, but basically he wants me to start on some treatment that will hopefully reduce the oiliness and the acne, and basically get me ready to hopefully go on testosterone. So he wants me to do that for about 3 months before going on T, as well as a month on hormone blockers and other stuff. So my next appointment is in 8 months' time with the other doctor there, because the laws have changed now, so that it's slightly different from last year and the previous years, in the sense that you don't need to go through as much of the psychiatric testing, and as many of the referrals and the different stages, it is more straightforward, but there still is that two doctor like confirmation to make sure you are trans. So yeah, that's that. I've probably missed things off because it's been quite an intense day, to be honest, with that. Yeah, there were some quite personal questions involved. Words I'd not really want to use, and words which perhaps I'd probably have to use trigger warnings with. But yeah, there were other questions. If you want more information on that, feel free to leave a comment below or message me in some way via YouTube or Tumblr, or if you're watching on Facebook, if you want questions answered, okay, sure, I'll do that. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye!